Well, I got my part, and it's a genuine part. It cost $18.03 before tax, just for that little seal. But look at it outside, it's frickin' just snowy as hell. When I began that project 3 days ago, there wasn't an inch of snow on the ground. Let's slap those dirty old jeans on. Gonna have to snow blow with the 4-wheel peeler. Maybe with this room, without this machine right in my way, I can bring in the Ford racing mower and start working on that thing. So here we are at the rear of the differential. What I've done is gone ahead and cleaned this all up with a fine sandpaper, so there's no dirt to make the new seal fail. So I've gone ahead and done that, cleaned it all up with sandpaper and paper towels. So that's all clean, even though it appears to be a little dirty, but it's way better than it was. And then I've gone through with paper towel and cleaned up where the seal is going to go as well around this casing. So now what I'm going to do is grease up the new seal with the Cadillac of grease. It's like $20 a tube. Before I start greasing stuff, I just want to show you what I've done. I've cleaned that spring. That spring had dirt on it. This gear here had some old grease on it. I got a lot of that off. Also cleaned over here. I'm not going to tip it over, but I did clean in there. Also cleaned the inside of this dust seal. The dust seal is actually reversed. It's actually supposed to flip up. So I actually reversed it to clean it out. Once I put it on, I'll put it back to normal. But I'm going to grease the spring, grease the gear, flip that back, and then that will grease inside of there. And then what I'll do is I'll grease this seal real nice so that the seal will last a long time. I greased up the seal. I'm wearing gloves because I absolutely hate grease. I hate how it can go everywhere, and especially this grease, as stringy as it is. What I'm going to do is rub this all along here. I managed to get the seal in, and trust me, it wasn't frickin' easy. I mean, when the differential's in the machine like this, it's frickin' hard to get to with a hammer. First of all, I was using the world's biggest hammer, so I went and got a different hammer. And once I got that, it was a little easier, but it's just hard to fit in those tight frickin' spaces. Okay, so I just greased that all up. I greased that shaft up. You could have greased the shaft before you put the seal on. That probably would have done it a little better, but this seal ain't gonna burn up anytime soon with as much grease as I put on the seal. So now I'm gonna go ahead and grease my spring and my gear over here. I greased everything up, as you can see. Real stringy. This is good stuff. Got the front lined up. Front's in. Got the dust seal on. Just a little FYI here, when you're moving your differential around and stuff, don't rip the wires around too much because you might unplug them or might break them. So if you get done with this and your 4-wheel drive don't work, check the wires. I'm sure you unplugged them. Come forward. There we go. Beautiful. Let's get her lined up. There we go. Alright, she's tight to the back. No doubt about that. So now, we're in business. We're done there. All we got to do now is lock the differential back down to the frame. Gonna try to line this differential up to the bolt holes. Not too hard. Got our first bolt with our washer there. Cool. And I'm going to go on the other side and line them up and push them through real quick. There you go, all the way through. Bam. Now all you got to do is put the washers on, the nuts on, and tighten her up. I'm going to go ahead and tighten this rear bolt down. Yep. There we go. Now we can slap this bolt back in, right there. Slap that back in, put that nut on there, then we can put our tire on. Well, before I put my tire on, I still have a few things to do. I already put on my zip ties that I cut off before. I put a zip tie here, hanging onto the line, and I put a zip tie there, hanging onto the line. So before I put that tire on, to make it easier for me, I'm gonna fill this thing up with diff oil before, you know, she locks up. So if you want to see how to do that, check out my other videos, 3D machines, and thanks for watching. So as you can see, we got the other tire on there. Be sure to check out the other videos with these things actually running. My buddies and I like to beat the shit out of these things.